You served 30 years in prison.
I did.
You've just been released in February of 2024, just February of this year. I want to hear what it was like for you coming home, learning how to use a phone, a smartphone, and also what your experience was like getting released to a world that is 3 decades more advanced technology-wise than when you were first incarcerated. What was that like for you?
Within minutes of being released, I had to be taken to Virginia Beach in order to be officially released. So somebody from the institution had to take me, but we wanted to coordinate with my brother who was coming to pick me up from probation and parole. So the person that took me home handed me a phone and was like, call your brother, let him know that you've been released and that you're on the way. And I said, okay. How? Because when, I don't know how many people are going to get this reference, but when I was first arrested, technology was like Zach Morris on Saved by the Bell with the giant brick phone that he pulled out of his backpack, or the sheriff in the heat of the night with the car phone that was in a box hooked up to the cigarette lighter. So there was no internet. There was none of that. So it was overwhelming. Also, how fast things move out here kind of gave me whiplash a little bit at first. Like, being able to instantly stream your favorite show or a movie that came out while I was in that I was, desperate to see. Like, you can just, everything, all the information is just at your fingertips, good or bad. And it's been an adjustment, and I still ask a whole lot of questions, but I'm figuring it out. I'm really figuring it out.
I want to go back to the phone talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
God, you've been gone for 30 years. You ain't even been home for a year. You are so fresh out. It is insane to me. It's almost like being born again, getting released to this.
It is.
Just to share a little bit of my perspective, I did 7 years. When I was released, when I got arrested, iPhone just came out. Smartphone technology had just come out. I didn't know how to use it, never used it. I get arrested. I come home, so I had to learn how to use a smartphone, touch screen. Everything is a touch screen or a tablet. You tap to pay. Like, talk about your first day being released and just the trying to get through that day with the technology aspect. You've got phone calls you've got to make. You've got stores that you're probably trying to go and buy things from. What was that first day like?
Oh, it was, honestly, the first day is a feeling that I don't think I'll ever be able to recreate again. It was emotional, overwhelming, stressful, wonderful. It was every emotion in the book, plus more that you probably couldn't even put a word on. But navigating the technology, so two of my best friends that I made while incarcerated were released prior to me, and I've been friends with them for well over 20 years, pretty much my whole incarceration and post their release. So they were there my first day. My brother was there my first day. And so there I am with my iPhone, and I'm like, well, how do I take a picture? And so they showed me, and how do I answer this phone call? And they showed me, or how do I send a text? So like I said, I was full of questions, but self-checkout stressed me out so bad because I was like, wait a minute, I just scan my own items? Yes. And I pay for them? Yes. And they trust me to do that? So that was overwhelming. But it was a long time before I ever ventured out on my own to any of these places. I always had somebody with me because I didn't want to come across as somebody that's been like, I didn't want somebody to look at me and been like, you've been under a rock for your whole life? And it's like, yeah, I have. Like, how do you respond to that? So, technology, man. I still struggle with it.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
You know, forget just trying to learn how to use a smartphone to get to the camera or to make a phone call or send a text message. You know, now you've got all this social media out here.
Yes.
Have you seen social media? Have you seen Facebook,
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram?
Yeah. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Threads. Threads is, I don't recommend Threads, guys.
I don't even got Threads. So
Threads is not, it's supposed to be the Instagram version of
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's taken off like it should have. But yeah, I'm on all of those.
Have you posted a video on there on any of these?
Yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Oh, so let me tell you. Okay, so I have a bucket list of things that I want to do. And I ended up going to Philadelphia for a 21 Pilots concert. And I love Rocky Balboa. I have a soft spot in my heart for all of the Rocky movies. So I wanted to run the Rocky steps. So my friend filmed me running the Rocky steps with the Rocky song playing in the background, and I posted it. So there's a video on my Facebook page of me running the Rocky steps. Halfway. I didn't get all the way up. I filmed my first trip to the beach. I didn't post it because it was, really personal to me because I love the beach and I was too far away from it for too long. It's as weird as this is going to sound, like it speaks to my soul. The depth of the ocean and the sound of the waves and the peace that comes with being there. But I filmed me walking to the shoreline with the waves crashing over my feet for the first time in 30 years. So, yeah, the videos and the photos I've got down pretty good. I've gotten pretty good with selfies too, even though that's tough to get that right angle. But there's other things that I still struggle with. Google Docs, uploading PDFs and then trying to...
Look at you, though. I mean, less than a year.
Less than a year.
It took me quite a long time to get pretty savvy with it. And I was not, you served 3 times, 4 times as much time as I did.
Yeah.
So good for you.
Thank you.
Let's go back to your first day out. You get released.
Yes.
What were the first things that you wanted to do, and what did you do? How'd you spend your first day?
The very first... So, I'm very family oriented. I love my family. I am lucky enough to have both of my parents still alive, still married to each other. And I said every single day, the first thing I want to do is hug my daddy. It's the first thing I want to do. And when we left the probation office, my brother took me straight to my parents' house because they're older and they're, not able to move around like they were. They're not young and spry anymore. So the first thing that I did was I went to their house. I opened the front door and I said, "Honey, I'm home." And I hugged my daddy.
Good for you.
Yeah. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to see him again before something happened to him.
What else did you do on that first day?
First day, I opened a lot of presents. It was kind of a low-key day. My brother made dinner because he's a fabulous cook. I had Cajun steak bites and red roasted potatoes with a garlic butter sauce on top. It was so good. And then my 2 friends that I spoke about earlier took me down to the beach. But it was February and it was 4 degrees outside. So we went down to the beach and stayed there until the sun came up in the freezing cold. Because, the sun rising was representative of my new day, my new beginning.
Your first day free.
My first day free. The next chapter of my life.
4 degrees outside.
Oh, I mean, it was probably more than 4 degrees, but
But
with
still
the
freezing.
it's freezing outside.
Y'all stay at the beach all night just so you can see that sunrise.
One of my friends had a hotel down there, so we sat on her balcony actually.
Good for you.
Yeah, and that was when I figured out that I don't take very good selfies because there's some really bad pictures of me on my phone with the sunrise coming up in the background, but I refuse to delete them because such a momentous moment.
You know, speaking of pictures, what type of pictures, if any, do you have from being incarcerated?
I brought none of them home with me, except for visitation pictures of my grandmother who passed away in 2018.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see pictures of what you were looking like just being incarcerated throughout the periods of time.
Yeah.
Did you bring anything home with you?
Yes, I brought home all of my certificates and awards. I brought home my transcripts from college. I brought home some photos, not all of them, but I brought home photos of like the family members that passed away. I brought home visitation photos. I brought home I had a 5-year journal. I still have it, where every day it asks you a question and you answer the question. And so I like looking back at it just to see how much has changed in response to the answers. I brought that home. I brought my JP5 home.
You still got that thing loaded up?
Yeah, I still got it loaded up because I refused to send it back to JPay. So
Is that what they want you to do?
they want you to send it back to JPay.
After you've already bought the damn thing.
Right, JPay, don't contact me over this. And they'll take all of your pictures and your music off of it, put it onto a flash drive, and then send it back to you.
And then resell the damn JP5.
And then resell the damn JP5. I brought that home. And
You got pictures on that thing?
yeah, I got so many pictures on that thing.
Oh, you gotta send me some pictures so we can include them with the video.
Yeah.
I mean, if you feel comfortable with that, but it would be great to be able to see you while you were serving time versus now.
Yeah.
I know that people would be interested in that. So many of these questions that I'm asking you could be their own individual video, so I don't want to ask too much. I'm really trying to showcase every little nook and cranny of you within reason, because there is the possibility and the hope that you start your own social media, which you already have, but these videos catapult a following on your social media for you to continue this if you choose to do so. It could be a great thing. But like I told you off camera, it doesn't come without its own things as well.
I'm prepared for it. There's nothing that anybody can say to me at this point in time that I have not already heard.
Well, let's focus on the positive
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. Absolutely.
You're a great person that I'm just getting the opportunity to know. Your story is absolutely fascinating.
Thank you.
You had some access to not social media, but technology while in prison through the use of the JP5 player. Hey, if you want to talk about reentry real quick, if anybody's listening, why are we not educating people coming home from prison on how to use a smartphone? But that's a topic for another conversation.
It absolutely is.
Had you known about the prison genre, did you know anything about prison being such a fascinating subset of social media prior to getting released?
No.
Or do you know that now? Do you know how much prison is all over all social media? Do you know that?
I know that now. Like, I didn't know that prior to meeting you.
What's your cooking game like with the prison food? What kind of swoles and bowl shots?
Man, let me tell you something.
Can you cook?
Prison food. I can't cook out here. I can cook in there. I can make bacon cheddar stuffed chicken burgers.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, we wasn't getting nothing like that, but okay.
Tuna burgers. I'm really great with burgers. I can do the swoles, but we had microwaves.
Yeah.
So, like, we could get our hands on food from the kitchen, vegetables, onions, tomatoes. We could make soups. We could make, oh man, there was the soup that Somebody gave me the recipe too that I started making.
What are you talking about? Like a tomato soup or like a frickin'?
So there was one girl in particular who used to make week. You ever seen Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Okay, so I entitled it "Little Guys" because I called her Little Guy. Little Guys Soup Nazi Soup, like after the Seinfeld thing, the No Soup for You, and it was ham and seasoning and rice and cheese, and it was jalapenos and salt and pepper, and it was soup. And then we used to take, the wraps that they would sell us and toast them up like tortillas, and then we would dip them in the soup and eat them. It was delicious. We could get our hands on flour every once in a while, but when the problem is that once the drugs took over, and that became the like payment options in there, the people that didn't have any, like myself, and the people that I hung out with, we weren't able to get our hands on the kitchen supplies that we wanted to. So
They wouldn't even accept like soups as payment, like ramen soups. You couldn't.
No.
They just want some boxing strips.
That's all they wanted. That's all they wanted.
Was that the number one ticket in there?
Yeah, that's I don't know about now, but when I was there, that was the only ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how popular and how out of control that was.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I bring up the cooking is because cooking videos are a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Prison cooking videos. So we're going to get you cooking something if you don't, if you're game for it.
Sure.
We'll get the ingredients. We'll have you in the old After Prison Show chopped kitchen.
Yeah.
And putting it down.
I need a flat iron.
Oh, you're gonna make us a grilled cheese with the iron?
I'm gonna make you the bacon ranch stuffed burger with the flat iron. I need a flat iron the chicken patty.
Gotcha.
So that because if you put it in the microwave, it just dries it out and the ends get real crunchy. So you have to fry it in pack with the flat iron.
People are gonna get a kick out of that. When I came home after serving 7 years, I can remember vividly going to Walmart, going to the bank. When I did that, both of those situations, I was in full panic mode, cold sweat, full-blown anxiety and panic attack. And I was only gone for 7 years. Did you deal with any type of mental struggles being released, panic attacks, feeling out of place, anything that was hard for you, especially on that first day? Were you nervous? Were you scared? Or were you just too overwhelmed with,
First day, I was overwhelmed with so many good feelings. We didn't really go anywhere and do a whole lot because by the time I got released and made it to probation and parole and then got released from probation and parole and saw my parents and got back to, because I don't live with my parents, so got back to the house that I'm in now, day was pretty much over. But I do really well in crowds. I guess it's because I do have a pretty outgoing personality, and I am kind of a social butterfly. So that's not what overwhelmed me. It wasn't being in a store or being around people. None of that overwhelmed me. What overwhelmed me was, and my brother tells this story all the time, once you're released from prison and everybody's happy that you're home and a few days go by and then everybody goes back to their lives and you're left for the first time in however long, for me it was almost 30 years, completely by yourself in the utter and complete quiet, because it's never quiet in prison. And that's what overwhelmed me. That was what took me mentally to a place that like I was just like thrown back, because it was so quiet, and I just started crying because in prison there's always doors closing, whistles blowing, there's always toilets flushing, showers running, people talking, washing machines going. There's always some kind of noise. But that first day that I was alone, it wasn't even my first day home. It was maybe 4 or 5 days later was when it all kind of sunk in that I was somewhere where I could find quiet.
You talk about quiet. It was the first time, 4 or 5 days later, it was the first time you're experiencing quietness. I know what that's like and just how important that is. I hate to get personal, and I'll keep it where it needs to be at. But I remember what it was like the first time that I took a shower, or the first time that I got to use the bathroom. Where you're just by yourself. I'm sure that was just another of many things that was just registering to you in those moments, like, I'm free.
I'm free. The shower was, I didn't have to wear shoes in it. The bathroom was my own, so, and forgive me for being personal, but I don't know how guys deal with girls because they're disgusting. Any odd smells, I didn't have to deal with that anymore.
You didn't have to put no water on it?
No.
They say that in women's prison?
No.
Hey, yo, put some water on it.
No, they don't.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you under the bus like that.
I don't care. No, we just tend to be amongst ourselves saying, don't go in the bathroom behind blah, blah. Smells like something died up in there. But, but yeah, like having my own, like it's my bed, it's my room, it's my bathroom, it's my shower, was, it's just something that so many people take for granted, and I just appreciated it. I still do. I mean, yeah, I haven't been out a year yet, but 40-degree weather outside, and I can open my bedroom window if I want to. When I came here today, I'm trying to get in the habit of not reporting to my brother, who I live with, every single action that I do. So, and today was, I think, one of the first times that I ever said, all right, I'm heading out. I'll be home when I can. See you later. Have a good day. Instead of, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing, this is how long I'm going to be gone. That is the biggest adjustment that I'm struggling with, is reporting every single action to somebody that I'm doing, because I don't have to do that out here.
Kelly, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up.
Okay.
I appreciate your candidness. You're willing to share all of this. My wheels are just turning for every topic that we could discuss, everything
Absolutely.
that we could do here. And it is my hope to get you out there to the masses, for them to get the opportunity to meet you, to want to see more, and to be able to follow you on your journey, on your own social media, and to see that excel for you.
Yeah.
Kelly, I appreciate you. Anything you want to say?
Oh,
Look like you're about to say something.
yeah, because I'm not under my own name on social media, but I don't think I want to.
Put that out there right now?
Not right now.
Okay.
Maybe in the future.
We'll take it one step at a time.
Yeah, let's do that.
Kelly, I appreciate you sharing, and I look forward to talking with you again.
God, it was an honor. Thank you for letting me share. Thank you for having me on here.
You're going to be on here a lot, so hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, Kelly.
All right. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Happy holidays.
Look at you, so cheerful. First Christmas home.